Hi everyone. Alright, this is about the meta level in Elden Ring. Right now there's a lot of discussion about what meta level should be in Elden Ring, and it's rather aggravating listening to all the people. First off, the game was just released, so I think people should use whatever rune level or build they'd like to use. Don't restrict or ruin your PvE experience of this magnificent game with the stress of, I don't want to go above meta. Second, there's a lot of misinformation out there as to what soft caps are and what does what. Activity is the main driver for a quote meta. Therefore, there really isn't a meta for invasions, as those will be active low level up through whatever meta level is used most commonly for duels, but some people want to decide on the meta for competitive play right now. So, what should the meta be? Personally, I think it's too early for people to decide what level has the best activity. I am currently not aware of the summon or invasion range for levels, so it's difficult to determine since activity is the main variable for choosing the level. The great news for everyone is that the player base in Elden Ring is enormous. This means that I can see varying levels being active for people. One could even say multiple meta levels. Many people want 100, many others want 125, lots want 150. Honestly, choose and play whatever you feel is best for you, and you may get quite a lot of activity at each of those ranges. This game's PvP scene will probably pick up more and more as time goes. Many of the PvP people are currently focusing on PvE and exploring the game right now. Alright, so now let's get into the details of which level would be best for a quote meta. There are still several mechanics and aspects of the game people are figuring out, so my thoughts may become outdated in the future. However, let's look at soft caps and what the stats play out to be. I updated a spreadsheet, which is linked in the description, which shows each level increase and how it impacts HP, FP, stamina, equip load, and weapon AR. Feel free to look at it if you'd like. Soft caps work differently in Elden Ring than they have in previous Souls games. There looks to be at least two differing levels of soft caps for vigor, strength, dexterity, faith, and intelligence. Vigor goes up by 20 or 30 something HP per stat increase until 28 Vigor, then it jumps up to 40 plus HP per stat increase through 40 Vigor. This is the first soft cap, putting you at 1450 HP. Then there are increases of 20 plus HP per stat increase up until 60 Vigor, giving you 1900 HP for your base. This is the second soft cap. Weapon scaling works similarly with strength and dex, int and faith, where 20 is the first soft cap. However, strength and dex have two more soft caps, which the exact stat level may vary depending on the weapon, but the second is around 53 or 54, then the third soft cap is 80. I'm not really discussing two-handed strength weapon AR differences, just one-handed strength comparatively to dex. Faith and intelligent weapon AR only have a second soft cap, which is at 50. So is using the term soft cap really even accurate at this point? One thing we know is that the damage output is massive in this game, and that's without even hitting the final soft cap of a stat. When you look at stamina cost and regen in the game, endurance primarily becomes an attribute for increasing equip load. Unless you're on a mage, FP cost is so minimal that base mind is normally all required to have many uses of a weapon art. So with the soft caps and the stat layout, what makes sense? I'm showing a few generic build type options on screen so you can see differing build layouts. The answer to this question depends on what people think others should have on a build. Elden Ring at its core is an action RPG and should be treated as such. Should every quote build have to sacrifice some points in order to specialize? Or should every build have everything available to them? Personally, I think there is no reason why a build should have 2000 plus HP, max damage output, max defense, max poise, hybrid options, and versatility of all weapons. At that point, it's not even a build. But what about certain spells that require a lot of FP and or high attribute requirements? Well, it's an RPG and mages should be squishy, right? But you can still have a decent tanky comfort with how stats are laid out. Knowing the new soft caps, I think the best level to play around would be level 120 through 130. You can hit max damage output for any damaging attribute, meaning 80 dex, strength, or 50 int, faith, and still put on decent endurance, meaning like 30 endurance for good armor, and hit the 40 vigor soft cap. Want more HP and heavier armor? Put 60 vigor and 40 endurance and hit the second soft cap for strength or dex at 53. This level range allows specialization of maxing out of a particular style whether that be a damaging monster, or a tanky sponge, or even a balanced build with overall decent damage tankiness. Want a mage? You can hit 40 vigor, 30 mind, 20 endurance, 18 strength, 20 dex, 60 int, and 12 faith under level 130. These are my thoughts, and I want to reiterate that I think it's too early for people to indefinitely decide what should be their meta. Thanks for watching.